Welcome to Phillip Island, home to a vast colony of penguins and one of the world's finest racing circuits. Jim Clark enjoyed his final success in the 1968 Tasman Series at the wheel of this revolutionary Lotus 49. Who will follow in his footsteps today? It's time for Grand Prix Legends, live here on the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Peter Mackay, and I'm privileged to be joined in the booth by the better half of Double Scotch, Ryan Walker. Behind the scenes is our director Sean Ambrose, using camera angles perfected by Dougie Beard. Now, Phillip Island is one of the most majestic racetracks anywhere on Earth, and here is our GSRC track guide to tell you a bit more about it.
Welcome to Phillip Island. As the name implies, this track is located on a splotch of land off the south coast of Australia near Melbourne. While there's been plenty of racing here for close to a century, the track's current incarnation has only been around since the late 80s. And this version is a doozy. With only 12 turns spread across the roughly 4.5 kilometers, it's a decently fast circuit. But what really makes this place stand apart is the incredible variety in those few corners. From negative to positive camber, early apexes, late apexes, blind crest, hairpins, sweepers, if you name it, it's probably got it. On top of that, the front stretch tends to offer up a slipstream with its incredible length, but it then forces the drivers into a game of chicken by chucking them into the frightening Dune. Corners like Lukey Heights stretches a car's grip to the limit and then shocks you with a sudden downhill braking into MG. Retaining something of an old-school twist, unlike most modern courses, Phillip Island has earthen embankments running along many parts of the track. While it's meant to keep the cars safely retained within the circuit's confines, anyone unfortunate enough to manage to jump them will be faced with a ton of damage for their troubles. A variety of types of racing take place at the track, including motorcycles, lower-level open-wheelers, and touring cars. Possibly the most well-known among those is the Australian Supercars Championship. With the Aussie reputation of having dangerous, difficult, and challenging circuits, Phillip Island certainly holds up to the standard. The beautiful views of the beach and the ocean may lure some of the fans in, but there's no doubt that the incredible racing at this unique track keeps them around.
There you go then. Here we are at Phillip Island, one of my favourite racetracks anywhere on Earth. Now, Ryan Walker, it is an absolute pleasure to have you back in the commentary box. You were much missed last week, but brilliant to have you back. And to welcome you back, why don't you tell us about what our drivers are going to be up against today?
Yeah, absolutely. This fantastic Phillip Island track, one of my favourites, and it's one of those tracks I can lap around all day. The track is 2.7 miles in length, and it's got a bit of history as well to it. Various series of raced around here in the past, from MotoGP to the V8 Supercars to the Australian Touring Car Championship, the Porsche Carrera Cup, the Australia Bike Championships, and the Super 2 Series, and you name it, it's probably been here. And today it will be host to the Grand Prix Legends Series, and the famous passing places will probably be Turn 1 heading into Duan Corner, or even into Turn 2, or the exit of Turn 2 rather, and Turn 4 heading down to Honda Corner, or even heading up to Lukey Heights. So you've got some passing places that you can make a move, and I think today we should be in for an absolute stormer of a race.
I think we will be indeed. A beautiful facility here in Phillip Island. The actual island itself, just off the coast of Melbourne, and actually the first ever Australian Grand Prix was held on Phillip Island in 1928. So here are your championship standings then. Rob Olenek taking the lead from Mick Claridge by just 5 points. Now, Mick Claridge was not present last week. He's had 3 wins on the bounce, missed last week. Will he be back today? In third is Topi Kortenemi, 59 points off the ultimate pace of Rob Olenek. Ovi Trengerid, a story of what could have been for the Norwegian, 63 points back for him. And Michel Durignon, 65 points back in fifth. So pretty tightly contested there for the third, fourth and fifth spots. Ryan, how are they looking in the F2s?
The F2 Championship is currently being led by the German driver André Schumacher, but 14 points further back in second is another German driver, Chris Heinler. So it's still tight at the top and all to play for, with the top 3 being rounded out by France's Emmanuel Pereira, with fourth place currently being juked out rather with Lopez, Eng and Van Dorn. So yeah, still really tight for fourth place, and rounded out the top 5 is Dave Cohen from the United States.
Certainly very, very, very close indeed. And finally, let's look at the Nations Cup to see how that is looking. At the moment, it's a tie between the United Kingdom and the United States, with Germany 48 points further back in second, followed by France, Finland and Norway. So the drivers are out at the moment putting in their qualifying times. In 8-minute qualifying sessions, 2 flying laps for the drivers. So you've got to get out there, get the tyres warmed up and set those lap times. Here's our race details for today. We're going to have 23 laps from a standing start here at Phillip Island. So they'll be tearing down the Gardner Straight down towards Duan Corner, turn 1. And as always here in the Grand Prix Legends series, open setup. So these fickle Grand Prix machines, you can tune and tweak them till your heart's content to get them exactly to your liking. And of course, the wonderful community here in the Grand Prix Legends paddock, always the faster drivers, very keen to help newer drivers to get a good setup for the car. 17 incidents will get you a penalty, 25 will get you disqualified, but very, very rarely do we see that happening. At the moment, Rob Olenek setting the ultimate pace right now, 126.6 for the American as he comes around the final corner down the Gardner Straight. My apologies, I'm looking at the wrong bit on the track. He's out putting in his second lap right now. We'll see if he can improve on that 126.6. Ovi Trengred in second right now, but no sign of Mick Claridge once again, Ryan.
Yeah, I think apparently Mick's still waiting for Mick's in the chat, but he's still waiting for internet to get installed, which shouldn't be too far away. I believe it'll be getting installed on Monday, so I believe as soon as it gets installed, Mick will be, no doubt, putting in the laps. But looking at Chris Murakami at the moment, it's he's currently sitting in 6th position at the moment.
Absolutely, good qualifying so far from Kamikaze Murakami, as he is known. Very easy to spot out on track with the distinctive red and white paint scheme there. Ovi Trengred, what can he does? He does improve his time and goes, he doesn't move up to pole, so Rob Olenek looks to be safe at the moment, but let's see if he can improve his time. 126.6. Oh, is it going to be close? Oh, just a little bit slower, but very, very close at the top. And Ryan, last week at Zandvoort, we had an absolute stormer of a race between Olenek and Trengred. They cleared off and had their own race all on their own. And, well, I'm not sure if the same will apply today, because here at Phillip Island, much, much harder to break away.
It is, and also you've got long straights as well, especially this home straight Michel de Nion's heading on to now, coming across the line, and he does a 26.8, and yeah, it improves his lap time, but doesn't improve his position.
Looks like at the moment
he goes up to 3rd place, sorry.
Yeah, provisional 3rd place then for Michel Durignon, our number 1 seed, the highest rated iRacing driver in the field. What can Dave Cohen do? He will not improve. He'll start from right near the back. What can Chris Murakami do? Currently sitting 7th. Can he improve his time at all? No, he can't. So Chris Murakami will start from 7th. He's had a good season so far, has Chris. What can John Van Dorn do? In, certainly very patriotic colours. No guessing which part of the Benelux region out of Belgium, Luxembourg and Holland John Van Dorn is from with that paint scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. The Dutch are famously known for liking a bit of orange, but as Ovi Trengred comes up to the line now, I think Ovi basically completed his qualifying lap. Is just getting some extra practice. I'm looking at Osmar Schultz now, coming around to the start-finish line now, currently 24th.
Looking to get a good improvement. He does improve by about 6/10, and that nudges him forward a fraction, but Osmar Schultz will start a little bit towards the back of the pack. What can Eugenie Massa do? He doesn't have a time laid down right now, running the number 27 car, so one of our lowest ranked seeds here, but what can he do? Let's see, 130.706 for Eugenio Massa, but I don't think that counts. I don't think he's been able to set a time, so he will start from the back of the pack. And is he going to stick the landing? Come on, flip. No, never mind. So it looks like we're about all done then here at Phillip Island for qualifying, so we'll see how they grid up for the Grand Prix Legends series here on the coast of beautiful Melbourne, Australia. Starting on pole position will be Rob Olenek, with Ovi Trengred, his championship rival, lining up right alongside him on the front row. Row 2 will be Michel Durignon and Topi Kortenemi. Row 3 sees Dave Price and Colin Bentley. Row 4 will be Chris Murakami and David Shepherd. Marco Kika and Chris Hengler start on the 5th row. Ryan.
Starting in 11th is Lyle Stolson, alongside him from Finland is Jan Lehmann, with 13th going to Andrew Schumacher, who had a great run to finish 3rd last week, unfortunately qualifying in 13th. Terry Worth is in 14th with Michael Cook in 15th, John Olsen in 16th, Emmanuel Pereira 17th, John Van Dorn from the Netherlands in 18th, with Andreas Bruno 19th, and rounding out the 20 is Matthew Maudsley.
Just go through our last few runners then. On the 11th row will be Donald Peake, our very own Donald Peake, alongside Royal Wallbank, followed by Xavier Boscus, Osmar Schultz, Hideki Kavisto, Dave Cohen, Michael Griesinger, Eugenie Massa and Robert Reynolds. 29 cars to compete here at Phillip Island. You can see the drivers are taking their spots on the grid, ready to go. A standing start, so that clutch control, very, very important. No launch control systems in these cars, launched in 1967. This machine, and its first proper success, of course, in the Tasman series, the series that used to go through the winter across in New Zealand and here in Australia as well. Rob Olenek on pole position. What can he do? Watch for Michel Durignon as well, third on the grid. We know he has got superb pace in this car, and what a glorious sight that is. A whole stream of Lotus 49s. Goodness me, if that were in the real world, there was this many Lotus 49s, it'd be a bigger wealth in most countries. That's these cars, of course, priceless artifacts in the real world, but here in the sim, they can be driven to their absolute maximum, and that's what we do every week here in the Grand Prix Legends series, live on the Global Sim Racing channel, 8:30 a.m. Eastern every week. The lights are up, we're ready to go, and we are off here at Phillip Island. Pretty good start there from Rob Olenek. Can he defend down into Doon corner? We've got Ovi Trengrade on the outside there. Michel Durignon cuts in there. He's trying to make himself known, giving themselves plenty space into the southern loop they go, but Michel Durignon a little bit wide. He might get mugged there. No, goes back into third place, but it's brilliant start from Rob Olenek, nice and clean from pole position.
Yep, it's been a clean start so far, and everyone's made it through turn 1 and turn 2 relatively cleanly as we're heading up to Honda corner now, up to the hairpin, and Rob Olenek had a great start. Someone in the background is trying to make a move, and that looks like possibly having a look now to see that it is. Oh, someone's around.
Oh, John, is that John Van Dorn? I think maybe, who's had a little bit of a spin. It's Cortinemi actually. He's in also a similarly bright coloured car, so very good opportunity to overtake there when you come around Stoner corner, flat left-hander, and then hard on the brakes, long braking zone into Honda. You can make that little bit of a manoeuvre. Up they go to Lukey Heights for the first time, over the crest of the hill, and then down towards MG. Another potential overtaking opportunity, but difficult to get it done cleanly. But our top three look to be making a break for it already. Rob Olenek leads from Ovi Trengrade with Michel Durignon in third. Let's see how much the draft's going to make an effect as they come down the Gardner Straight, named after Wayne Gardner, the 1987 Motorcycle Grand Prix champion, a winner here many, many times at Phillip Island on board his Rothmans Honda NSR 500. Down they go then into the southern loop once more, and draft. Oh, look. It just gives you a great impression there, Ryan, of how the drivers have got to try and be super, super smooth, but this car always wants to break away from you.
It does, and you can't really fight the car, otherwise it'll just bite you, and you've got to be real smooth with it. As Rob Olenek surprisingly goes defensive already into the hairpin, and Ovi Trengrade, I think, we know how quick Ovi can be. Also, he can be quite feisty when he wants to.
Yeah, he certainly can. There's brilliant respect between Rob Olenek and Ovi Trengrade. They flew. Honestly, it was like watching a Red Arrows demonstration last week at Zandvoort. They were honestly bumper to bumper for the entire race and not a hint of contact. So let's have a look at the replay of the start and try and deconstruct what happened here. So we're heading down through towards Stoner Corner, named after Casey Stoner, the double world champion motorcyclist, down towards Honda corner, the hairpin. Good opportunity for overtaking, but on cold tyres and cold brakes, these are really, really tricky. So, Cortinemi who was that he got into the back of Dave Price? Ran into the back of Dave Price. So I wonder, Dave Price in the Yamaha Speedblock colours. What do you think, Ryan? Do you think that might have caused a bit of damage for him?
Just watching Dave's car now, and it looks to be okay at the moment. As hopefully I can see the rear. Yeah, it looks fine to me. So maybe he's luckily got away with that. Maybe just a slight bit of damage, but nothing. Doesn't seem to affect the straight line speed anyway.
Well, that's good news then for Dave Price, currently holding 5th spot right now. And here we go, Ovi Trengrade. Well, you said he was feisty, Ryan. Big snap oversteer moment there for Ovi Trengrade. Looked like he might have been able to get up alongside Rob Olenek on the brakes, but got a real warning from the car. The car just saying no. Big mistake, big mistake from Olenek. He's spun it up. He's taking Durignon with him. Durignon's on his lids. Oh my goodness me. Christmas has come early for Ovi Trengrade. Ryan Walker, run us through that one.
Yeah. I can't believe what's happened. That was like watching two boy racers go at it in Tesco car park. But
Oh,
isn't it?
oh dear. Well, just the slightest of mistakes there. So let's see what happened. What was it that triggered this? Rob Olenek gets a little wiggle there, just at Siberia, and completely innocently, the car spears across the track, and poor old Michel Duvignon. He's the #1 series, an impressive driver, but there was absolutely nothing he could do there. He's done for the day, and Rob Olenek has got huge damage, and that has big championship implications, because Ovi Trengrade, as we saw early before the show, he really had a bit of ground to make up in the championship points, but this is his chance. But all the while, Dave Price is only 2 seconds off the lead, and Murakami's in the provisional podium.
Yeah, I was about to say that's shaked up the top three at the moment. Price in second, Murakami third, sorry, and Colin Bentley into fourth. But Rob Olenek, he couldn't afford to do that, because Mick Claridge, while he was away, Rob Olenek should have been taking advantage to try and pull away in the championship.
Well, we know Mick Claridge is the ultimate gentleman and the ultimate sportsman, but you have to think he's maybe thinking, ooh, that's done me a favour, that's for sure. But, well, that changes the complexion of the race completely. Now, Ovi Trengrade, he's got a clean car, he's got a lot of pace, but Dave Price, he's knocked nearly a second out of Ovi Trengrade on this lap alone. So, I mean, I certainly didn't see Ovi Trengrade take any damage or any contact there, Ryan, did you?
I'm just looking at his car now from my end, and it looks like his car looks pretty clean. So it looks like he might have just got away with that unscathed and got through without any incidents. But Dave Price, he's only 7 tenths of a second behind Ovi Trengrade now.
Well, this answers our question, does Dave Price have damage? Well, if he does, it's not slowing him down. In fact, it's probably speeding him up. If there is any at all. He's knocked 1.4 seconds out of Ovi Trengrade since that incident, which, of course, Ovi Trengrade got away from unscathed. So Dave Price in the Yamaha Speedblock, the Kenny Roberts throwback livery on this car, he is absolutely on the charge. And this, I don't think Ovi Trengrade would have quite bargained for this. Oh, it's good to be back. Cosworth DFV cam, there you go. That is one of our favourite Dougie Beard camera angles, on top of the beautiful Cosworth DFV, the V8 musical instrument, I like to call it.
And look at this now, Dave Price is absolutely caught up to Ovi Trengrade now, but in the background you've got Chris Murakami in the top three, Colin Bentley, and also Marco Kika. So it looks like even though it looks like a 3-car battle for the win, they might have a 5-car battle for the win.
Well, we say bunch racing is very, very prevalent here at Phillip Island, whether it be in 2 wheels or the 4-wheeled world. It's just with that draft down the Gardner Straight, it really makes a big, big difference. And really why we get such fantastic racing at this particular circuit. But Dave Price maintaining that gap, about steady gap now, but as he comes down, he gets a great exit out of the final corner. He's hard in the draft of Ovi Trengrade down towards Doon corner, and well, this corner is very well named, because you've got to be so brave as Dave Price bites off a little bit more than he can chew there, takes a big load of dirt on the inside. But yes, Doon corner, turn 1, you've got to have ultimate bravery. You're tipping the car in at such high speeds, and well, Mick Doohan is one of the bravest men to ever walk the earth, the 5-time motorcycle world champion. The guy actually fused his 2 legs together to stop one of them falling off. That's how much of a hard nut he is. But look at this, duking for 5th spot, Marco Kika and David Shepherd in there as well. Sorry, Rob Olenek, my apologies, recovering.
Yeah, Rob Olenek on the charge back through the field now, and I think this race might just be a case of, well, thinking about it, Rob Olenek, even though he had that incident, he's only about probably 3.4 seconds from the lead.
Yeah, it appears to, whatever damage he has, it appears to be minimal, because he hasn't dropped down the field. You would expect him to be in a whole world of pain there, but Rob Olenek, no, is he going to have a look here? Oh, this is a big lunge, oh, Marco. Now, Marco Kika there, buy him a beer, because Marco Kika was very much the ideal dancing partner there. If he'd closed the line, they would have been in a big smash, but Marco Kika saw Rob Olenek coming and gave him the room. That's something that you wouldn't see perhaps in other series, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Great respect between the both of them, and Kika just left enough room. I think he saw Rob diving up the inside and left the room just so they didn't collide, that Yeah, that was a bit of a Daniel Ricciardo style send, you could say.
That was, yeah, absolutely a Daniel Ricciardo overtake. Put it up the inside and let the other driver make the decision, accident or let me by. So through Stoner Corner we go, down towards Honda. Down the gearbox you can see the Smith dials, the little arrow there just flicking back and forward as he drops down the gearbox. Rob Olenek back up to 5th. And I tell you what, Ryan, this is going to be an amazing storyline to watch. Rob Olenek, how much can he limit the damage after that mistake? He looks to be on the charge and he looks to be in a car which seems to be racy enough despite having act as a bit of a launching pad for poor old Michel Dunion.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Colin Bentley in front of him got a bit sideways, and Rob Olenek again going up the inside, making a move. So Rob Olenek up into 4th place, and I have to say it, Peter, I was going to say if he could come back and finish on the podium, that would be great, but at the moment, don't rule with Rob Olenek of possibly coming through and retaking the lead.
Oh, well, that's a big call. Well, we're not even at, we're just about to go to 1/3 race distance, so he's got the time. There's Ovi Trengerade in the lead. Dave Price has just dropped back a touch, not much, just over a second. It was down to about half a second at its closest, so he's still very much in there. Chris Murakami running a really nice, smooth race in 3rd, but Rob Olenek has got the bit between his teeth, and you know, some drivers, when they drive angry, some drivers overdrive, but some really go up to another level entirely. Well, we saw Ayrton Senna when he was driving angry, he went to another level entirely again. But Rob Olenek, he'll be really, really annoyed with himself with making that small mistake, and it appears to be really pushing him on as Chris Murakami has a big lockup, and that's allowing Rob Olenek just that little bit of room just to close the gap.
There's a lot to say from the rear of Murakami looking at Olenek now. I think it's just a matter of time before Rob will makes a move, and I think I wonder if Murakami will put up a bit of a fight, though. That's the thing.
Well, it's going to get closer. Every driver that Rob Olenek comes across it's going to get harder and harder to get by. And yeah, we know Chris Murakami, he's a hard racer, so like you say, he's not going to allow Rob Olenek. He's not going to pull over, that's for sure. But Rob Olenek just taking little bites of time every single lap, and he has got the time to make his way to the front, as you say, was something I thought we would never say. But what surprised me, Ryan, is that Ovi Trengrade's not quite been able to break off at the front, but now got the gap to about 2 seconds. So now starting to get a bit of comfort, but he's got to keep building on that gap to protect the lead.
He does, and it looked like at one point Ovi Trengrade didn't want to try and pull away, but it looks like now he's just got the hammer down. I think he might have just looked at his relative and saw Rob's coming back through the field and decided to put the foot down now. As Rob Olenek looks like he's got a run heading down to Honda Corner, and he's got the run. Is Murakami going to go on defensive? Yes, he is.
Yeah, that's Murakami's seen that one coming in. Oh, it breaks himself. Oh dear, oh dear. It's very, very easy to get just grab the brake. These Girling brakes on this 1967 Grand Prix machine, they are very, very basic. And if you just make the slightest mistake on braking, that will catch you out. And Chris Murakami was desperately trying to keep Rob Olenek behind. He was on the defensive line, as you said, Ryan. And, well, that's a bit of a freebie there for Rob Olenek. Now, this changes the complexion of the race now. Heading towards half distance, Rob Olenek has got the opportunity to get back to the front. Let's have a look at the battle for P7 then. David Shepherd having a battle here with Andre Schumacher, who was so impressive last week, getting on the podium at Zandvoort in the Matra Tyrrell liveried machine. And another good showing once again up in 8th, Ryan.
Yeah, he's having a good race, and last week at Zandvoort he took his best result of the series. He finished in 3rd place. And after a great run, and it looks like Andre's got the run heading down the home straight, but can he try and make a move on Shepherd before turn 1? It looks like actually decides against it.
Yeah, you've got to be decisive if you're going to make that move. You've got to be basically all the way done before you tip into doing corner. It's just so fast into there. And of course, these cars, as you can see, absolutely no aerodynamic grip. All of the grip comes mechanically and from the tyre. And the change of direction at high speed can sometimes be quite tricky. So you've got to be fully committed there as they come across some lap traffic. They get by without too much fuss. Now, we've also got, that's number 11 of Cook just appearing there at the back shot there with the red helmet. He's about to get into this battle as well. So as usual, here in the Grand Prix Legends series on the Global Sim Racing channel, we've got battles up and down the field, no less fierce at the front as it is at the back.
Yep, it's wherever you look, there's always a battle going on, and at the moment, Shepard and Schumacher seems to be another close battle, but also, like you mentioned, it looks like Price and Rob, the battle between Price and Rob Olenek for second and third place is starting to get a bit spicy now, and I think I wonder if Dave Price will try and make try and do a defence job as well, or maybe just decide that he's in a good position and maybe let Robbo go, but I doubt that.
I think Dave Price has shown spots of being the fastest car on the racetrack at certain points of this race. Just in the last phase or so, the last 3 or 4 laps, Ovi Trengrade has been able to get a breakaway. Now this is a critical moment for Ovi Trengrade. This is where he really needs to push and press home that advantage, because all the while that Rob Olenek is behind Dave Price, that gives Ovi Trengrade a golden opportunity to step away. And even if Rob Olenek has to try a few different ways to get past Dave Price, that's going to slow both of them down, allow Ovi Trengrade to escape. And straight away, you called it, Ryan, Dave Price straight to the inside line, making sure that he's nice and tight as they head to the southern loop. And just because of that defensive line, that's allowed Rob Olenek to get right on the back of him. And I suspect it's going to all be about that run out the last corner and making the move down the Gardner Straight.
I'm not sure. I reckon if Rob gets a run heading it up to Lucky Heights and over the hill and heading downhill to the hairpin, I think he might try and make a move up the inside. But he's getting closer now. Will he try and make a move up the inside? And no, I can't do anything. So yeah, I think you're correct, Peter.
Yeah, it was interesting there that Rob Olenek seemed to take a nice wide entry to get a really good drive out the corner to really build that momentum to get down the Gardner Straight and use that aerodynamic slipstream. He's right on the back of Dave Price now, so let's see. But don't forget though that Rob Olenek does have a damaged car, so that can't be helping the straight line speeds. Does he look to close in here on the straightaway? Well, not as much as you'd maybe think. So he's definitely going to have to take an alternative strategy here, Ryan, and try and get by in perhaps maybe a bit more of an unexpected place, because down the Gardner Straight, that damage is just holding him back a fraction.
And I'm just looking at the gap between Trengrade and Price. That was round about the 2 second mark. Now it's down to about 1.5 seconds, so I don't know if Ovi's made a mistake.
Oh, he must have done. It was up over 3 seconds at one point. Dave Price goes very defensive again, but he's just got to place that car really cleverly, and he does so. Rob Olenek must be getting really frustrated now. But it must have been a big mistake, Ryan, by Ovi Trengrade, because with Dave Price and Rob Olenek battling like this, they won't be going at their fastest speed, but they're still closing Ovi Trengrade down, it would appear.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I'm wondering if Rob can't get by Dave as quickly as possible. I wonder if Dave runs slightly wide and Robbo's got slightly up the inside heading down to the hairpin. And will he try and make a move? No, he can't do anything.
Oh, here we go though. Here we go. The Dave Price makes a little bit of a mistake on the exit, but he's just blocking the path a little bit. Rob Olenek not quite able to get a run alongside him, but look at this. They're almost... the exhaust out the back of Dave Price's car almost making contact with the front nose of Olenek's machine. Down they go, down the Gardner Straight. Now Rob Olenek is so close now, he must be able to get a bit of a draft. He looks to the inside, Dave Price gives him the room. Down they go into doing corner. Who's going to be the price? They bang wheels! They bang wheels, and just about Dave Price hangs on to it, so does Olenek. Is he going to go around the outside, around the southern loop? Surely not. They head down to Stoner's. Rob Olenek just backs off a slight bit. And I tell you what, at that speed, Ryan, banging wheels, you run the risk of damaging the suspension.
Yeah, I'm amazed that never ended up in suspension damage. I'm amazed both of them got away with that. But credit to these guys, they're giving each other just enough room when it comes to it. And this is a great fight. Oh,
it's fantastic. And what is a real surprise is that they've only lost a couple of tenths from Ovi Trengrade in that little exchange. And you would expect them to lose a couple of seconds, let alone a couple of tenths with that sort of caper going on. So what is going on with Ovi Trengrade is maybe he's just managing the gap. He's just quite happy with it. Just sits at sort of around 2 seconds. He can control it. He can go faster if he needs to. He can go slower if he needs to. Perhaps that is now that is very much a Jim Clark tactic. Win at the slowest possible speed, or perhaps an Alain Prost tactic, Ryan. Is Ovi Trengrade being the master of control here?
I'm not sure. Maybe I think Ovi might just be realising he doesn't need to push or overdrive. He just needs to do his thing, just maintain that pace, just be consistent. And it looks like Rob Allen's got the run heading down to turn one. Can he get up the inside? No, he can't.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Dave Price is being super clever, just placing his Lotus 49 in those wonderful Yamaha Speed Block colours, Yamaha America Speed Block colours, just placing it very nicely, just where Rob Olenek wants to be. There's a nice, wide, bright yellow Lotus 49 in the way. Now, here we go down Stoners. Rob Olenek's got a really good run. Oh, puts one wheel on the grass. You don't want to do that in the braking zone. He hangs it around the outside. Will he get the cutback now into the southern loop? You're going to have a look here. Dave Price sees him coming and just covers the line off ever so slightly. Bit of a lock-up from Ovi Trengrade in front. And that gap, look at the gap, Ryan. It's now down to 1.2 seconds. Dave Price and Rob Olenek have knocked a second out of Ovi Trengrade. I just don't know if there's got to be something up with Ovi Trengrade.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just if it's a setup issue, maybe just he said, "Oh, it's Rob." I thought Rob Olenek was getting sideways, but maybe Ovi Trengrade. I wonder if his setup's not suited to his track. Maybe something like tyre pressures are not being suited to the track temperature.
Yeah, very good point. Could be. There's, of course, with these machines, there's so much adjustability on them that, yeah, if you go the wrong way with the setup, it can really hurt. So this is interesting. So clearly, you would wager that Rob Olenek, if he can get past, and he looks to the inside now, and he's right alongside into doing corner. Dave Price doesn't want to fight it too hard. Is he going to hang it? Oh, maybe he does. Hangs it right around the outside into the southern loop. Oh, but Rob Olenek gets to just seal the move up now. Yes, he's got it sealed up. Well, now we're going to see. We've got Rob Olenek. Can he go for the spin and win, Ryan?
The famous Danny Sullivan tactic, I remember that. But yeah, you never know. Rob Olenek, he's got past Dave Price now, so yeah, next target in front of him is the leader Ovi Trengrade, and look at the gap already. He's caught right up to him. But I don't know, Peter, if Ovi Trengrade is maybe playing mind games.
Well, it's a risky one if he is, because now the battle is on now. Rob Olenek is very much in the wheel tracks of Ovi Trengrade and close enough to get a bit of an aerodynamic slipstream down the Gardner Straight, which is so critical here at Phillip Island. Well, game on. Rob Olenek was our pole sitter, don't forget, not by very much, but he was the pole sitter, so he does have very hot pace. But Ovi Trengrade, if he is playing games well, it's the most relaxed man on the planet right now, but I really don't think that's the case. I think Rob Olenek is just on an absolute charge. 9 laps to go here at Phillip Island. Can Ovi Trengrade keep the charging Rob Olenek behind? This is going to be a thriller.
Yep, absolutely. And Rafael Dorado made a very good point on chat. Ovi Trengrade is just he's probably just having fun and letting Robbo catch up. But if I was Ovi Trengrade, I would be wanting to put that foot down and increase the gap.
If he's doing it, just if he's slowed down on purpose, I'll be amazed. But anyway, we've just seen Rafael Dorado doing a good job at confusing the commentator. Rafael, great to have you watching. He is. We are confused. Help. This is amazing. From Rob Olenek is what a drive this has been in any circumstances. I don't really care if Ovi Trengrade's slowed down on purpose or not. I very much doubt it. But Rob Olenek is just charged back through the pack with damage. Don't forget, this car is not at 100%. It can't possibly be. As they come down into the MG hairpin, and we're going to get an absolute grandstand finish here. But Ovi Trengrade, we know that this is going to be Rob Olenek's strongest adversary. Is going to be his hardest pass that he's made. He's got past Price, Murakami, Bentley, and all the others. Sometimes easily, sometimes not so. But to get past Ovi Trengrade is going to take some serious guile and cunning to get past. But as he gets into the draft, heading down into doing corner, where is he going to try this move first?
I think his best or two best passing opportunities are probably going to be on the corner or the exit away the hairpin after Licky Heights. I think that's his two best passing opportunities. But I can't really see anywhere else working. But heading down to the run to Honda corner now, and Rob Allnick, he's not really that close, so yeah, it looks like Rob Allnick, he closes up on the braking, but he can't really make a move.
Nope, no, Ovi Trengrade knows everyone knows the signature move there at Honda hairpin, and yeah, you just look, you see Rob Allnick is looking really racy, very strong on the brakes there, and he's putting a lot of pressure now. He will be filling Ovi Trengrade's mirrors and putting on that pressure, and 7 laps to go. It's going to be a proper thrilling finish here. Over Lukey Heights they go, named after Len Lukey, who owned the circuit here from 1962 to 1978.
Well, it looks like Manuel Pereira's had an incident as well. Going down and
So what's happened to Emmanuel Pereira then? They're heading down towards, where are we on the circuit now? Down into Honda. Pereira, just loses a little bit of lock up on the brakes. Now, does he make the same mistake? Does he do what Allnick did? Oh, that's violent. Goodness me. That looked like such the smallest mistake there, Ryan. Just got on the power that millisecond too early in the car. Well, this car does not forgive you for taking liberties with it.
As the battle for the lead's getting closer now as they head down into the Honda corner, and Owen Trengrade is definitely going defensive now, and I think it's just a matter of time before Rob Allnick gets by, but I think it's just a matter of where can he get the move done.
Well, interesting. Both drivers, they're locking up into Honda hairpin as they head up towards the hay shed, up towards Lukey Heights. They do have a lap car that they're going to have to negotiate at some point, and they might well come across this lap car at just the wrong moment. And brilliant job by the lap car there. I think that was Boscus in the 20 car. Good job getting out the way of the leaders coming through. And Rob Allnick very late on the brakes in the 2 car there, and nearly into the back of Trengrade, but he sees him coming. Through they go then, down the Gardner Straight once more, round the final bend. And this is just too close to call. It will be 5 laps to go as they go over the stripe. Now, one thing that I think is definitely holding Rob Allnick back, Ryan, is just that he's just not quite getting the same draft effect that he would get in a completely undamaged car down the Gardner Straight, as they nearly bang wheels going into doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it?
It goes.
Yeah, I think Rob Allnick, that damage might be just the front nose damage might just be costing him some straight line speed, so he can't really get as close as he wants to. But heading out to on the corner now, I wonder if Rob Allnick will try and he sneaks out from behind just to try and put over the Trengrade off. But as Rob Allnick just runs slightly wide.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of a moment on the brakes there. You're always just handling these little small moments that happen all the time. Little pinches on the brakes, a little bit of a wiggle under braking, going around the corners. It's so tough to drive this car at this speed. These guys are absolutely on top of their game, the best in the world in this particular car. They come over towards Lukey Heights once more, a really tough corner, because you come over the crest here and then you got to get on the brakes, and the car's thinking, goodness me, are we uphill, are we downhill? Goodness, let me keep up. Big mistake there from Trengrade on the brakes, and is Allnick being able to hang it around the outside? Not quite, there's not enough room there, I don't think, and that's just spoilt Rob Allnick's exit as well. But here he goes, he's right on the gearbox of Ovi Trengrade as they come down the Gardner Straight. 4 to go here at Phillip Island, and Trengrade going very defensive on the inside. Rob Allnick will be able to go around the outside at Doon and go into the inside on the left-hander at the Southern Loop. Let's see.
He's on the outside. If he keeps on the outside, he's got the inside for turn 2. Can he get the move done? It looks like he's got the move done, but Ovi Trengrade's not giving up that easy.
Yep, that's the Valentino Rossi special. That is the number 46, the 9-time motorcycle world champion. He's pulled off that move hundreds of times. It's a signature move of his, and well, maybe Rob Allnick will need to ask him if he's a Valentino Rossi fan, because that's the classic Southern Loop move. Very impressive indeed. But don't forget though that Rob Allnick is hurting ever so slightly down the straight for whatever reason, whether it's the damage or setup or whatever. So Ovi Trengrade still has an opportunity to try and get him back, but just look at the advantage that Allnick has got. He's pulling car lengths for fun here, Ryan.
Yep, he's just he's basically don't like to say it, but he just basically, I thought, well, actually, Ovi training grade closes back up over Leaky Heights and down to the hairpin, but I was about to say, Rob Olenek was basically just pulling away and making Ovi training grade look like a mug.
Well, I think this supports our theory that Ovi Trengrade wasn't slowing down on purpose, that's for sure. I certainly don't sign up to that logic. So now we're going to see, though, in the draft here on the Gardner Straight, can Ovi Trengrade use his clean car, undamaged car, to try and get the advantage back on Rob Olenek? But nope, not too much of an advantage there. So absolutely extraordinary, and it was such a heavy impact between Olenek and Michel Dudignon. It's absolutely exceptional that he's still even got 4 wheels left on his wagon, Ryan.
Yeah, I was amazed that after the incident with Michel Dudignon, he didn't get forward damage. As he go by a damaged back marker who pulls to the left, so good heads up driving there as they head down to Honda corner, and Rob Olenek goes defensive, and Rob Olenek gets really sketchy under braking, so it just shows how much he's pushing to try and pull away. Yeah,
he really is on the limit, and of course he will have really had to take out a lot out of himself and out of the tyre, trying to get through the field. Of course, drop back after his spin, but at the moment, with 3 laps to go, there'll be 2 to go when we go over the stripe. Can Rob Olenek do the Danny Sullivan spin in the win? Let's see. It's always a little bit of a badge of honour, really, isn't it, Ryan, to be able to do that at this level?
Yep, absolutely, especially with these sort of cars as well. And I have to say, it's a great recovery drive from Rob Olenek to come back through the field after that incident. And even though he's got some slight front nose damage, it doesn't seem to have hampered his pace.
No, definitely not. It's this reminds me of I think in 2009 when Ferrari were really struggling with their car, and Felipe Massa had a damaged front wing and he went a second and a half quicker, and his engineer Rob Smedley came on the radio and said, well, we've sorted out our aero troubles.
As both of these guys are still going at it into turn 2, and I think Trengrade, I think he's only got this lap and the next lap to try and make a move on Rob Olenek. We're trying to retake the lead, and I think the only place that he can make a move is on the corner, or even on that long hole heading down to turn 1, as Rob Olenek goes defensive, and Ovi Trengrade again can't get by.
Yeah, Rob Olenek had to go very defensive there, and Ovi Trengrade really putting the pressure on now. So Rob Olenek not got this all his own way just yet. Let's see, it's all going to come down to that drive. If you can get that good drive out of MG, the very slow right-hand hairpin after Leaky Heights, you've got to get a good drive out there, get the power down, open up all 400 horsepower of this 3-litre V8 built by the legendary Cosworth firm. Oh, and big lock up there from Rob Olenek, but he gets back onto the power hard, but that has really spoilt his run. And look at Ovi Trengrade in the number 3 car. He's right on the gearbox now. I tell you what, Ryan, he's close enough where he can make a run down the Gardner Straight as they'll take the white flag to start the last lap this time around.
Yeah, and Rob Olenek, I'm surprised, Rob, what are you doing? You should have went defensive. And Ovi Trengrade's got the run heading down to turn 1, but I wonder if Rob was going to try and do the same tactic again. Try and hold the outside and have the inside for turn 2. Can he get it done? It looks like he can get it done, but Ovi Trengrade runs wide, just about clips the gravel, and Rob Olenek back to the lead.
I feel Rob Olenek's going to refer you back to that clip, Ryan, as they head down Stoner Corner. Left-hander, another chance for Ovi Trengrade to have a little look here. Rob Olenek sees it coming, he knows it. He's gone to the defensive line. Round they go down towards Siberia, the left-hander coming up. Trengrade goes as far wide as he can to get a nice swooping exit to try and build speed up towards the hayshed. They go. We're on the last lap here at Phillip Island of what has been an absolute classic here in the Grand Prix Legends Series on the Global Sim Racing channel. Up towards Leaky Heights for the final time. Rob Olenek, he's had a spin, he's had an accident, he's in the lead. Can he defend? Can he keep Ovi Trengrade behind? Trengrade goes super wide on the entry. A little bit of a lock up from Olenek. He's got the line so far as they go into the penultimate corner. Can Ovi Trengrade have anything to say about it? It's a mistake from Olenek. Big oversteer from Olenek. Is that going to give Ovi Trengrade the run? They head down the Gardner Straight for the last time. The checkered flag is in the air, but I think just about, is it going to be Olenek? Is it going to be Trengrade? It is Rob Olenek who wins at the stripe. in a thriller here at Phillip Island. What a finish, Ryan.
What a stonker, and Dave Price rounds out the podium in third place. Chris Murakami will finish in a fantastic fourth, with Colin Bentley in fifth, and wow, holy cow.
So Marco Kika just edging out Andre Schumacher there. We will confirm that. A little bit of a battle between the German and the Scandinavian. Marco Kika just edging out Andre Schumacher by 0.3 of a second. Well, what an absolute thriller. We're always treated to good racing here at Phillip Island. Well, we're going to take a very short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back with official results and driver interviews. Welcome back to Phillip Island, where once again here in the Grand Prix Legends series we have been treated to an absolute classic motor race. If you're new to sim racing, well, welcome. Now, we hope you enjoyed it. Rob Olenek, your winner then by just a 10th of a second from Ovi Trengarade. Rob Olenek recovering from an early accident to make his way all the way back through the field. Fantastic stuff. Dave Price, a great drive from the number 5 machine in third, with Miss Chris Murakami fourth and Colin Bentley fifth. Topi Kortenemi was sixth, followed by Marco Kika, Andrew Schumacher, David Shepherd and Janne Lehmann. Right.
Yep, finishing in 11th was Chris Hengler, with Blaust also finished in 12th. Michael Cook finishes in 13th, with Terry Worth in 14th. John Olsen in 15th, with Emmanuel Pereira in 16th. Andreas Bruno 17th. 18th was Matthew Maudsley, with Donald Peake in 19th, and rounding out the 20th was John Van Dorn.
Rounding out the last of our runners, Eugenie Massa was 21st, followed by Hideki Kovisto, Michael Griesinger, Javier Boscus, Robert Reynolds, Osmar Schultz, Roland Wallbank, Dave Cohen and Michel Durignon taken out. No fault of his own in that early incident. Super unlucky for the Frenchman, but as they say, that is racing. Now, we have Chris Murakami in the commentary box, and he is with Ryan Walker.
Yeah, Chris Murakami finishing in 4th place, and Chris, you must be pretty happy with that result. That's the best result in the series, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think it's my best result ever on the Saturday big race. Yeah, awesome. Whew.
Yeah, I was watching that battle between you and Colin Bentley, and that was a great battle to watch from my end. And yeah, you were in contention for a podium finish at one point, but it just once Rob got through and got by you, you ran wide at the hairpin slightly, but still managed to finish 4th. And yeah, it must be a good confidence booster.
Yeah, it really was. this week I was running pretty well. I was hoping to get a little bit more time because Dave had like a 20th of a second more than me. I was hoping to find some time, but I never did. And yeah, wow, that corner got me twice, and almost blew it right at the end. I almost gave it to Colin. I was really watching my rearview mirror on him.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That you were putting up a good defensive job as well. But that battle overall was just great to watch. And heading into the Spa next week, are you looking for the same sort of result again?
It'd be great. I'm not expecting it, that's for sure.
Good stuff. Before we let you go, Chris, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, hey, thank you guys, and also thanks Antonio Reyes. He's the reason why I'm here. He's my computer guy, so he's the man for me.
Good stuff. Well, again, congratulations on the 4th place, Chris, and we'll see you on track next week at Spa. As I believe up next, Peter, you've got the race winner who came back after an early race incident, Rob Olenek, with you.
Rob Olenek, I doff my cap, sir. That was a drive for the ages. Tell us about that roller coaster of a race there.
Oh, first of all, I really want to apologize to Michelle. That was on my mind the whole race after I did it. I mean, one of the best racers. I hate to be the cause of unluckiness from him. Like, I mean, it was my fault. I'm not saying there's no fault, but he gets unlucky. He comes back in races occasionally, and when he does, he's unlucky more often than not. So that was on my mind the whole time. And as the case happens, it seems a lot of times, when two cars contact, it seems like the innocent guy is the one that gets the damage, because my car had nothing. So sorry, Michelle, come back. I'll try not to do that again. The race was, after that, I mean, it was pretty awesome. I felt like, for some reason, about the lap after it, I kind of was not driving good, but then all of a sudden I got into a groove. And it felt like I had really good pace. It felt like normally this track is really hard to pass on. And it is when the guy's the same pace as you. So early on, the passes seemed to be a little easier. I definitely had a lot more speed in turn to the long left-hander than most, and coming out of it. When I got up to Dave, that was a really good battle. He drove exactly the way you're supposed to drive there, and he defended. I was happy too. Like, it was really fun trying to get by Dave. I had my doubts that it was actually going to happen. I think it took a few little mistakes is all that happened. And if he just kept driving the way he was driving for the laps I was behind him before the mistake, I think I would have stayed behind him, regardless if I had more pace than him or not. And then I don't know what happened to Ove, but it seemed like he had a 4-second gap on Dave and I. Then he must have made a mistake or something, because all of a sudden it was like 1 point something on the relative. I'm like, oh boy. Like, and Ove is the type of guy that he just wants to race, and if he's out there on his own, he might slow up just to invite the battle. So I was thinking about that during the race too, and I don't even remember how I got by Ove. I know it was tough, and I don't remember, like, following was tough, and trying to figure out where to get by was tough. I think I had a little better pace on him in areas that didn't even matter, and I think maybe it was final corner. He might have missed his turn in or apex or something, and maybe give me a shot. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I called it the Valentino Rossi move, the switchback from Doon to the Southern Loop. It was a beautiful, beautiful maneuver. I think you'll enjoy watching it back, that's for sure. Now, Rob, before we let you go to go and enjoy another win here in the Grand Prix Legends series, who would you like to give a shout out to here on GSRC?
All the same as last week. I mean, you guys, you're great. Thanks a lot. The whole Lotus 49 community, and Dirty Torque Racing, which I'm a part of, and they'll be doing the 24 coming up shortly, which I'm not going to be in with them, but good luck to them. And I'll see you guys next week.
Fantastic stuff, Rob. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. That is all we've got time for here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We hope you enjoyed this absolute classic race here at Phillip Island. A huge thank you goes to the companies that provide the software and the hardware for our broadcasts, and they're listed here on your screen. A big thank you also goes to June Lolon, who provides our wonderful music. See on the screen for how to get a hold of more of her excellent work. A big thank you goes to Ryan, Sean and Dougie for their expert work on today's broadcast. If you'd like to find out more about us here at the Global Sim Racing channel, including upcoming races, you can find that information at globalsimracingchannel.com. Or check out our social media. We have Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram GSRC_gram. You can also represent GSRC at the track by getting hold of some GSRC merchandise, and that's available at gsrc.storeenvy.com. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube page and hit the big red subscribe button so you never miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing channel. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.